Dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram today. Well, in this part of the Cricket Happening Show, I'm going to speak about the West Indies actually taking the one-day series 2-0. So England have lost that opportunity yesterday to level the series, and once again it was a tame surrender by England, according to me, in the second one-day international, which was played at Bridgetown in Barbados. And West Indies were really on a real high there by actually winning that second T20 match, and it is in right preparation for the T20 World Cup which is coming up in Bangladesh. Now, well, dear fans and subscribers, as you know, you are my wheels of the business. So I would like to apologize to you that, I know you might have been expecting my cricket report, probably thinking that Ram is going to give a cricket report, and the report is coming on pretty late in the day. Well, I wouldn't be able to give a report. I'm just going to speak about the game. The reason being, unless and until cricket becomes a full-time paid profession for me in my life, I wouldn't be able to do that, because as I said, I also have to, I mean, I have to go to office. So this is something which I do it for my passion. And well, you dear friends and subscribers are a very good bunch of guys who like it. You are very patient. I really love that. And well, please continue to be patient, because all time permitting, I never miss a cricket show that one would have seen. It's a 365 days a year cricket show which goes on and on and on and on. That's the word. So please bear with me. So it could happen that today we are going to have a match. Right now, the information which is coming in from the center there in Durban, the news is not good. But one good thing is that the rains have stopped, and play is about to resume in another 30 minutes time between South Africa and Australia, the second T20 match, after the first T20 match was totally washed out. So now this particular match, I wouldn't be here. I would be probably working at my office. So the only thing that I could do is I could actually come up with a match summary, or probably talk about that match, as I'm going to do about West Indies and England. That's what precisely I can do. But whatever cricket I do have, I definitely would cover that for you, dear friends and subscribers. As I said, you guys really make this cricket show a great success with your tremendous cooperation and your tremendous patience. Well, thank you very much. So that was a small note of thanks for all you dear friends and subscribers. But now, so today, yes, definitely we're going to look at the second T20, but also some exciting stuff going on. As you know, the T20 World Cup has not started. It's going to kick off on 16th of March. But well, we have we have all the associate nations. I'm sorry. We have all the associate nations who have already reached Bangladesh, and the reason being they are playing their warm-up matches. And today we had already two matches have been decided, where there were wins for host Bangladesh and also Afghanistan, the very competitive team. Right now we have two matches which are going on, but those matches I would be probably giving you a cricket update. But as far as the other two matches are concerned, I will tell you how Bangladesh and Afghanistan won their matches respectively. So the T20 warm-up matches update. But first, let me talk about the second T20 match between West Indies and England. As I said, I'm not going to give you a report. I'm just going to speak about the game, just look at the salient features, and just talk about that. So it all started with England facing off against West Indies at the Kensington Oval, Bridgetown in Barbados, in the second T20 match. For England, there were two persons who made their T20 debuts. One was Stephen Parry, as expected, and Moeen Ali, the all-rounder, was also inducted into the T20 squad. Now, well, the toss was actually won by England, and England actually batted, and England were in trouble right away from the start. And today it was not the spinners who started the started the real slide. It was done by a bowler who has been doing very well for West Indies, and especially in 2014 he did very well in the domestic league and also in the Caribbean Premier League. And his name is left armer. He's 28 years of age, and he's Chris Marson Toki, I thought he bowled with some clever variations as far as bowling is concerned, because he slipped in the slower delivery, he got one to move away, and he was the one who really started making good inroads into the English batting right away. The first wicket that he had was of Michael Lumb, who was LBW bowled Santoki with a ball that moved in. He was gone for 4. After that, he sent Moeen Ali back to the pavilion pretty quickly on his T20 international debut. As he was gone, LBW to a slower delivery coming in from Santoki, and he was gone for 5 of 7 balls with 1-4. And then the contribution, in the sense they lost Morgan also for 3, and at the time the score was England were really dawdling at 26 for 3 in the 5th over. But after that, there was a very good partnership which was there, but it was not something which was really worrying the West Indians, because it was going at a very leisurely pace, because they took the score from 26 for 3 in the 5th over to 102, and well, they had to do that because someone had to do the repair job, and it was done by Alex Hales, who contributed 40 runs of 36 deliveries with 1-4 and 2 sixes, and keeping him company was Josh Butler, who contributed 67. He was there almost till the end by contributing 67 of 43 balls with 5 fours and 3 sixes. There was a lot of innovative stroke play coming in from Josh Butler, and that was the partnership which actually took England to a score of 152 for 7 of their 20 overs. In the end, Ravi Bopara contributed only 14 runs. Luke Wright was not out on 7, and Bresnan made 7 runs. And 152 for 7, Krishmar Santoki was the man of the match for his brilliant bowling performance. And why not? In fact, he first took 2 wickets at the start, where he sent the openers, and then he came in and picked up 2 more wickets, because he picked up the 2 important wickets he came in and picked up the wicket of Josh Butler, who was looking pretty strong on 67, and then he also dismissed Ravi Bopara. So his bowling figures at 4 overs no maiden, 4 wickets for 21 runs. Samuel Badri, the red arm leg spinner, bowled excellently, 4 overs no maiden, 1 for 16, and I'm sure Krishmar Santoki has really sounded the boards for him being included in the T20 World Cup. Marlon Samuels 2 overs for 17. Ram Paul was very costly, unfortunately, 3 overs for 30 runs for him. Sammy took himself out of the attack after just bowling 1 over, in which he was carved for 17 runs. And Bravo 4 overs 2 for 34, and 2 overs for 13 runs for Andre Russell. Now, looking at the scorecard, 152, it was a much better effort from the Englishman, I thought. But the problem for England was the bowling. Now, the bowling, well, it all started with, as you know, Dwayne Smith has already, started off the T20 series with a bang when he hit the first ever ball from the English captain Stuart Broad for a 6. That was in the first T20 international. Now, once again, this time England had to deal with 2 people. Not only Dwayne Smith, but also Chris Gayle got into his element, and that was spelling real double trouble for England, as this partnership racked in 48 runs of just 28 balls. So 4.3 overs, and 48 runs were put by both Dwayne Smith and Chris Gayle, who really started slamming Bresnan for 4s and 6s. Dernbash was also going for plenty, and it was a real sorry sight to watch. The English bowlers get a real caning at the hands of the West Indian openers. Dwayne Smith, who contributed 30 runs of 16 balls with 2 4s and 3 6s, and Chris Gayle was sending the balls absolutely out of the ground. He hit one of those biggest 6s ever seen at this ground. The last one was when I'd seen such a 6 sail out of the ground. That was by Joel Garner, the Big Bird, as he was called, the nickname Big Bird Joel Garner, who was the tailender. And now Chris Gayle probably hit that ball much harder and in a much brilliant manner, because he actually sent it, probably once thought that the ball went into the harbour. Such was the power of Gayle, and this shot that he played was of the bowling of James Treadwell, the right arm off spinner, who was sent soaring over the skies. and Gale contribution was 36 of 30 balls with 1 fours and 4 sixes. And look at what they did. If you look at the partnership, 48-run partnership when Dwayne Smith departed, and Dwayne Smith's contribution was 13, 18 was Gale's contribution. Such was the awesome power hitting that was seen from the West Indies openers. And then Gale contributing 36 of 30 balls with 1 4 and 4 sixes. Marlon Samuels coming in and chipping in with 28 of 35 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. Lendl Simmons made 19 of 13 balls with 3 fours. Andre Russell, promoted in the batting order, was dismissed quickly for 2. And then Darren Sammy didn't want to waste any time. He just took a leaf out of the Dwayne Smith and Chris Gale book and started slamming sixes aplenty by making an unbeaten 30 of just 9 deliveries with 2 fours and 3 sixes to close the match for the West Indies. And West Indies won the match by a margin of 5 wickets, thus taking the T20 series 2-0. And the final score for West Indies was 155 for 5 in 18.5 overs. They didn't even face the full 20 overs, and in 18.5 overs they actually got this thanks to Darren Sammy finishing off the match in pretty quick fashion. See, looking at the bowling, well, Bresnan went for some real tap there. 3.5 overs, no maiden, 51 runs and 2 wickets, all due to the fact that Dwayne Smith and Chris Gale were really murdering Bresnan's bowling. Dernbash 3 overs for 30 runs with 1 wicket to the name. Treadwell 4 overs, none for 27. But look at amidst the mayhem that West Indies were doing it to England. Look at Ravi Bopara's figures. Those are splendid figures according to me. 4 overs, 10 runs and 1 wicket. Splendid bowling spell by Ravi Bopara. Stephen Parry on his debut, 2 overs, none for 17. Luke Wright, 2 overs, no maiden, 1 for 20. And as I said, West Indies winning the match, winning the T20 series 2-0 with 1 more to go, where England can only save some face just before the T20 World Cup. If they could actually pick up a win, that would be great for them. But West Indies are looking pretty powerful, I should say that. And even in the absence of Kieron Pollard, they are just going berserk as far as batting is concerned. Because such was the awesome power hitting yesterday that we saw. And Krishna Santoki, for his wonderful spell of bowling, left arm pace bowling, was awarded the man of the match. Now what I'm going to do, now we are leaving from the West Indies, and we are moving to Bangladesh. And for Bangladesh, as I said, today let us start from the warm-up matches. Now the first warm-up matches that I would like to talk about was between Afghanistan and Netherlands. Afghanistan made 150 for 7 of their 20 overs, and Mohammad Nabi, the captain of the Afghanistan team, was the highest scorer with 40 of 25 balls with 2 fours and 2 sixes. Good contributions coming in from Karim Sadiq, who made 39 of 33 balls with 6 fours and 1 6. Shafiqullah making 39 of 26 balls with 2 fours and 2 sixes. Well, they didn't have the other people. There were no other batsmen that reached double figures. As far as the bowling from Netherlands were concerned, the best bowler was Jamil, who got 4 overs, no maiden, 28 runs and 3 wickets. And then Swart Mudassar Bukhari, who is their prime strike bowler, and Van Beek chipped in with 1 wicket apiece, and also Peter Seelar, the spinner, got 1 wicket. As far as Netherlands were concerned, where the Afghanistan bowling proved too strong for the Netherlands team, and Netherlands was wound up for 86. In fact, they were all out for 86. The highest scorer was, you could just imagine, out of the 86, 20 runs was the highest score, which was done by the opener M. Swart, who made 20 of 15 balls with 2 fours. Other than that, Myberg made 14. Wesley Baresi, the wicketkeeper batsman, made 15 of 21 balls with 1 4. 11 coming from Rippon of 10 balls with 2 fours. And that was the story as far as Netherlands. Let's look at the Afghanistan bowling. There's a new bowler by the name of Aftab Alam, who bowled very well. In fact, 3 overs, no maiden, 25 runs and 4 wickets. Hamza Kotak, the left-arm spinner, had 3 for 16 and 1 wicket to Karim Sadiq and Mohammad Nabi, the Afghanistan captain, who is an off-spinner. So Afghanistan winning it very easily against Netherlands. Now that looks at host Bangladesh, how they won against United Arab Emirates. They won the match by 4 wickets. United Arab Emirates making their first trip to the first troop to international cricket scene, where they are actually participating in the T20 World Cup for their first time. Well, in this warm-up match, United Arab Emirates, well, they definitely did a good job putting up 142 for 7 of their 20 overs. Their captain, and a consistent player at that, United Arab Emirates captain Khurram Khan, contributing 44 of 35 balls with 6 fours. They had some real push in the opening, where Amjad Ali contributed 19 of 16 balls with 3 fours, and Fazan Asif contributing 31 of 22 balls with 5 fours and 1 6. And 142 was the final tally for the United Arab Emirates. I thought they still did a good job against Bangladesh. Shaiman Anwar contributing 19, Rohan Mustafa making 13, 142 for 7 of 20 overs United Arab Emirates ended up with. Looking at the Bangladeshi bowling figures, Al-Amin Hussain 1 for 25, Rubail Hussain 1 for 17, Mahmudullah 1 for 19, 2 for 25 for Farhad Reza, and 1 for 15 for Abdul Razak. So I thought United Arab Emirates definitely did well as far as their batting is concerned. But well, Bangladesh, they actually got through that total with not with lots of ease, I would say, because Bangladesh ended up with 146 for 6 of the 90th overs, winning by 4 wickets. For Bangladesh, one good thing that happened in their favor was Tamim Iqbal, who was out of the Asia Cup, finally came in and showed some good form. He got a good hit in the middle by making 43 of 30 balls with 6 fours and 1 6. 27 coming in from the Bangladeshi captain Mushfiqur Rahim of 20 balls with 5 fours, 15 from Nasir Hussain, and Mahmudullah in the end took them to victory with an unbeaten 29 of 18 balls with 5 fours, and Farhad Reza was not at 14 of 7 balls with 2 fours. Bangladesh winning the match by 5 wickets. Let's look at the UAE bowling. Guruge 2 for 25 is a pace bowler. Silva 3 overs none for 30, 2 for 25 for Amjad Javed, 1 wicket for 20 for Kamran Shahzad. Rohan Mustafa 1 for 36 was a bit costly. Khurram Khan, the captain, bowling 1 over. Now, this was United Arab Emirates losing against Bangladesh. Now we are going to have some cricket updates. The reason being that we are looking at the match which is going on, so I wouldn't be able to give you the full summary here. I would just be briefly talking about this particular match, because right now we have a game which is going on. It's a T20 warm-up match which is played at Chittagong. Zimbabwe are playing against Hong Kong. Now Hong Kong, as you know, they are into the international cricket scene for the first time. They are playing their first T20 World Cup. Well, Zimbabwe I thought Hong Kong bowlers definitely did well in restricting Zimbabwe to 153 for 7 of their 20 overs. For Zimbabwe, Sikandar Raza contributing 32, the opener, of 26 balls in 2 fours and 2 sixes. 31 coming in from Vusi Subanda, the aggressive player, who today actually in this warm-up match, normally he's an opener, but today he came in 3 down and he made 31 runs of 22 balls with 2 fours and 2 sixes. And Elton Chigumbra towards the end, slamming the Hong Kong bowling to make an unbeaten 45 of 28 balls with 7 fours and 1 6, and Zimbabwe ending up with 153 for 7 of their 20 overs. Now, as far as Hong Kong bowling was concerned, Tanveer Afzal none for 15, 2 for 37 for Hasib Amjad, 3 for 25 for Irfan Ahmed, and 1 wicket apiece to Nisgat Khan and Aizaz Khan. Now, as far as Hong Kong are concerned, right now, I mean, looking at the way Hong Kong has bowled well, and now they are also batting well according to me, because in reply to Zimbabwe's 153 for 7 of their 20 overs, the current situation for Hong Kong is Hong Kong are 64 for 4 and we are in the 11th over. They have lost both their openers, Irfan Ahmed and Waqas Barkat, pretty cheaply. Atkinson is the captain, as you know, of the Hong Kong team, and he has gone out for 20 of 20 balls, 2 fours and 1 6. Currently, we have Nizakat Khan not out on 15, Chapman is not out on 6, but that situation is 64 for 4 and we are in the 11th over. So essentially it means that you still have 59 deliveries in which to get the remaining runs, and I think well, I'm sure Hong Kong are really making a real go for it, no doubt about it. Chatara has 1 for 14, 1 for 10 for Tinyasha Panyangra, Prosper Tsea the spinner 1 for 11, and 1 for 7 for Mushangwe the leg spinner. So that's the current position as far as this particular match is concerned. Now the last cricket update which is coming up, this is between Ireland and Nepal. Nepal were restricted to 137 for 7 by the Ayush team, and Nepal. For Nepal, it was the captain. In fact, Mala was the highest scorer with 47 of 35 balls with 3 fours and 1 6. But Paras Khadka, the captain, contributed 31 of 27 balls, 3 fours and 1 6, and they ended up with 137 for 7 of their 20 overs against Ireland. For Ireland, it was Young, who had 1 for 16. George Dockrell, 4 overs, 1 minute, 2 for 31. McBride had 2 for 22 and 2 wickets for Kevin O'Brien. So right now Ireland, well, they are absolutely on course because they are currently placed at a very commanding 71 for 2. We are in the 11th over. Porterfield, the captain, is unbeaten on 34 of 31 balls with 1 4. Sterling was out for 19. Joyce was dismissed for a duck. And right now Pointer is not out on 15 of 19 balls with 3 fours. 71 for 2 is the current score, and Ireland definitely look on course for a victory. So, well, with this cricket updates in the 2020 World Cup in Bangladesh, your host Ram would like to end the cricket show for today. But before I end that, one small cricket news that I would like to share. We all know the Indian Premier League is a premier event which takes place, and of what reports are coming in, it says that this edition of the Indian Premier League 2014, the first leg would be played in the United Arab Emirates, the ICC headquarters, and the second leg would be played probably in Bangladesh, and then finally the whole tournament would probably end in India. So there are 3 places where the Indian Premier League is going to be played. So with this little cricket news, your host Ram is ending the cricket show for today. Thanks for your company as always, dear friends and subscribers. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you.